Welcome back, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and here I am in Seattle, Washington for New Comic Book Day. I went all the way across the country to do some training with Amazon, and while I was here, I went to a couple comic book shops. So I'm going to show you some footage, and then we'll get into the books that I ended up picking up at the second shop that I visited. So the first shot, and you'll have to excuse me, I've got notes here so I remember where I went. The first one that I went to was a place called Golden Age Collectibles, and I actually saw some pretty good reviews on this, and it turned out it was at one of the first places that I visited when I came to Seattle. That would be Pike Place Market, and it took me a little while to figure out where the shop was, and by the time I got there, I only had a half hour left. So I went in and shot some video. I didn't pick up any books there, though, so I can't really judge them. All I know is that the prices on the books were a little high, especially for the condition that I thought they were in. So I ended up not buying anything, but I did do some footage from that shop. So take a look at that and enjoy that. Then the second shop I went to was actually on New Comic Book Day here on Wednesday out here. And I was a little bit subject to having to go to classes with Amazon. But what that meant was I didn't get to go during the morning or even early in the afternoon. I had to pick one of the shops that was open a little bit later. And a lot of the shops around here closed, seems like at 6 o'clock. Or I just didn't have enough time to get to them. So I ended up choosing one that was fairly close to the hotel, a short Uber ride, and it was called Phoenix Comics and Games. And to be quite honest, if I'd had more time, it probably wouldn't have been the place that I chose, only because of the photos that I saw. Definitely they had some new comics there, but I didn't see a lot of old back issues or vintage or anything like that. And, well, I'll tell you what, sit back, enjoy the footage from the first shop and then photos only from the second shop, and then we'll come back and we'll do the New Comic Book Day stuff. So hang on and I'll be right back.
Later.
All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed some of the footage from the first shop and some of the photos from the second shop. It was exactly like I expected at the second shop, and they did have a wall with new comics on it, and that's where my troubles began. It was a very limited selection of new comics out there, and I'm going to go through and I'll show you the books I picked up, and then we'll talk about the books that I didn't pick up. So let's just start with the show and tell and get through that, and then I will talk about the books that I didn't pick up. So this was on my list. This was X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 17. Is that right? Or is it 16? Which one is this? I have no idea what issue this is. Yeah, it's issue number 17. And they're introducing a new character, Mutina, I guess. And that was pretty intriguing. So I went ahead and picked that up. And I picked up a copy of the regular cover to Fantastic Four number 1. Now, this is a pre-order, and to be quite honest, I probably didn't need to pick this one up, but I kind of want to read it before my pre-order comes in. I probably won't get that pre-order in for another half month. So I wanted to go ahead and read this and see what I thought about the new book. The fact is they started over with another number 1, and they still have Ryan North writing the book. Now, granted, we got Ramos doing the art. That's fantastic. But still keeping Ryan North on there, I think we've gotten to the point where we don't need Ryan North on this book anymore. Say what you will about him, but I don't think he really proved anything in the first run. Didn't prove anything with the One World Under Doom. Just, it's not there. Why do they have to leave the same? Basically, you're just starting over in number 1 to capitalize on a number 1. Another number 1 here. That's the only reason you're doing it. Get somebody with some quality, come in there with some really good ideas, and maybe we'll have something. But guys, that was it. That's all I picked up on New Comic Book Day, and it was pretty disappointing because I had a bunch of other things on here. And let's just go through it real quick. Start with the books. Well, I'll tell you what. The Uncanny X-Men 17 was straight up one that I wanted to pick up. I didn't pre-order it. It's not a book that I pull often. That was a first character appearance. That's the only reason I picked it up. Fantastic Four number 1, as I said, I picked up the regular cover because it is one that I wanted to read and didn't want to wait until that pre-order came in. But what I really wanted was the one with the Alex Ross cover, the Galactus cover. Yeah, it just wasn't there. Now, in some of these, there's a chance that they did have some of them on the stands. There were a few empty spots on there. But this shop wasn't big enough to have the amount of variance on all these books like I'm used to. I am very spoiled going to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland every week. The amount of variance that you pick, I mean, it's unbelievable, the selection you get at Third Eye Comics. And at this point, you guys are going, my God, you shill for Third Eye, you should get paid by them. Well, maybe I should, but it's legit. The amount of variance and ratios that they offer is unbelievable and just sets them above everybody. Any shop I've ever been in doesn't compete with the amount of books that they've got there. Now, they cannot compete necessarily with the other shops with the vintage stuff, but in terms of the new comic books, man, nobody's better than Third Eye Comics. And I'm going, luckily this weekend, I will be going there once I get back from Seattle. I'll go there and hopefully I'll pick up some of these books that are on my list. But let's go through. We're still talking about the list. These were the 2 that I picked up. What else was I going to pick up? I was going to pick up Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 1, the Sanford Green cover. They had plenty of regular covers there, but not the Sanford Green cover. Magic number 7. That's a pre-order book, and it's got that great Villalobos cover, and I've got that one ordered, and they did have plenty of those. That was the regular cover, but what they didn't have was the retro version of that cover, and I can't tell you the artist on that, but I kind of want to pick up that retro version. And speaking of going to Third Eye this weekend, one of the reasons I am definitely going to be going this Saturday for this, well, the reason I'm going is that they're bringing in Robert Venditti, who is doing the new Death Planet. Is it Planet Death or Death Planet? I can't remember which. His book just dropped today, and I wanted to pick up a copy of it so I could, when I get back to Maryland, I'll be able to go Saturday morning and it'll be ready to go. I don't have to buy another one at the shop. Well, no sign of it. Now, that's a book that had an empty spot, but somehow I doubt that they actually, this shop, Phoenix Comics and Games, actually had it. So I will pick up that book at the signing this weekend and definitely get some copies signed. Another book that I'm not shocked that was not there was from Titan Comics, Conan number 22. And not only did I want the regular cover on that, but I wanted the There was I think there were some variants. Actually, I don't remember who the artists were, but there were some really cool variants on this issue. And then they did have Red Hulk #6, and I didn't really want the regular cover on that, but they did have another cool retro cover that was very much like that Magic cover. But the one I kind of really wanted was they had a Werewolf character drawn by Dan Panosian. It was a ratio cover. And I know that Third Eye probably has it. I hope they have some this weekend when I get there. But man, I left this Phoenix Comics and Games very disappointed. And I think the disappointment's on me because I chose poorly. I kind of knew what I was getting into based off the photos I could see off of Google. Well, as I said, I didn't have a lot of chance here on New Comic Book Day to go to other shops. I don't have a lot of time after we're finished with all these classes that we're taking here at Amazon. And I'm left with limited choices. And I think there were a couple other shops that, if given more time, if I was here on vacation, I would definitely go to. But these are the two shops I went to. If you guys live in the Seattle area, reach out to me. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what shops I really should be going to, because I feel like I've taken 2 swings at fastballs and I've missed both times so far on this trip. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get another chance or in the near future. But if I do, I'd love to know, where should I really go? You guys have got to let me know. And if you enjoyed today's video, definitely give me a like, slap the subscribe, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I'm putting out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to finish up the week here in Seattle with Amazon classes. These are training classes for my promotion. And then I'm going to be heading back to Maryland on Friday. By the time this video comes back, I will be back in Maryland. But I'll be coming back, and then that Saturday morning, we'll be doing a signing with Robert Vendetti. And definitely I'll be shooting some film from that, so you'll see that episode as well coming up here in the near future. So guys, take care. I will see you for the next episode. And remember, every comic has a story.